All right, this looks like it has promise. It started strong anyway.
I just need to be able to defend myself. And bring up the right matters that matter. And show why this is illegal.
Your Honor, I apologize for.
Hold on, please, hold on.
Shall he use it?
Please stop talking.
Shut it.
Okay, so we are back on the record in the matter of William Branson and Heather Collins, 240-2269. So, two things. One, I'm going to address the recording in just one moment. However, counsel alleged while I was on the record in another matter that Miss Collins flipped him off, gave him the middle finger.
Yeah, we know what it is. That's what I'm saying. Just thought it was a strong start. I figure it's got to go downhill from here.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you one time. Did you do that
Yes,
to Mr. Dagger?
yes.
Why?
Because I can't deal with his lies. He lies. He lies to what happened in
Yeah.
Dearborn.
Ma'am, I was on the record in another matter.
I apologize to your court. I
Please
should not
stop.
have done it.
Please stop interrupting the court. I think I've run out of fingers how many times I've said that to you. I was on the record in another matter. Nothing was even being handled in your matter. You were sitting there and you just flipped off the attorney. So when I indicated previously that your behavior was incredulous today, that goes right in there to support that. Now, as it relates to the recording, Michigan Court Rule 8.115, sub 3, photography and audio or video recording, broadcasting or live streaming. That's the title of that. Except for requests for film or electronic media coverage of court proceedings as permitted under Administrative Order number 1989-1, the following restrictions apply to photography, audio recording, video recording, broadcasting or live streaming in a courthouse. A, in a courtroom. In a courtroom, no one may use a portable electronic device to take photographs or for audio or video recording, broadcasting or live streaming unless that use is specifically allowed by the judge presiding over that courtroom.
Uh-oh.
The court did not give you permission for that because you did not ask. You did not ask. Paragraph 7, violations of this rule. If these rules are violated, the presiding judge may confiscate the device for the remainder of the day or order that the phone be turned off and put away. Violations of this rule are punishable by appropriate sanctions up to and including contempt of court as determined in the discretion of the court. Well, I can confiscate the device, but we're already at the end of the day. I ordered you to turn off the phone and still off on the table there. The court is going to find you in contempt of court for that.
Oh,
Very, very blatant violation. And the court is going to assess sanctions. Now,
oh,
you've had an opportunity, ma'am, to process the offer that's been put forth.
ask
by
for her
Mr. Branson,
supervisor.
correct?
Come on, Karen, you can do it.
Yes or no? You've had time to process that.
Yes,
And are you going to accept that offer at this time? Yes or no?
no,
Okay.
I'd like to continue to
So
live there then.
Here's what, I'm sorry?
if you're gonna make me pay my rent then I'm gonna live there till the end of my lease, because this is not a legal lease.
You don't want to live there, you stated, and now you say that you're going to live there until the end of your lease because it's not a legal lease.
You won't let me defend myself. This is
Ma'am,
supposed to be a hearing where I'm allowed to defend myself, ask witnesses, and you're not allowing me to do any of that.
Yeah.
This has not been a trial whatsoever. This has been you controlling this entire thing. I'm not allowed to ask a witness anything. I'm not allowed to show paperwork to prove that he has other properties to know he needs certificates of occupancy.
Okay, ma'am, let me respond to a couple of those things. Number one, you're correct.
I hate to tell you this, but the judges kind of control hearings. That's how it works. Like you haven't like thrown out some grand indictment of the system here. That's how it's designed.
I am controlling the proceedings. That is my job as the judge, to control the proceedings. Also, it's my job to make sure that the proceedings are relevant and that we are not going outside of the purview as to what the issue is, okay? So, the issue originally was unpaid rent. That rent has been paid, it's in the court escrow account. You have raised the issue of not having a valid C of O. It's been determined there's not a valid C of O. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order two things. Number one, I'm going to order both parties to brief the court on the issue of the legality of a lease when there's not a valid C of O. That's the first thing. And those briefs are due.
Oh, good Lord. This woman's gonna write a brief. Okay. I wonder what the sanction is for the contempt.
Those briefs are due on February 14th. That's in 1 week. Second, there is going to be an opportunity for Mr. Branson to inspect the property to see what current status it is in. Okay? Now, when I say that, then he can have somebody present that's not his wife. You can have somebody present. And I'm going to pick the time right now before you leave. And that's what's going to happen. Yes.
May I ask that he not videotape all of my possessions while he was in there? Because that's what he wants to do.
Ma'am. If there is an area that needs attention, such as something that's broken,
Yes,
something that needs to be repaired,
yes,
something of that nature, he absolutely has the right
100%.
to take a photo.
Yes.
Okay?
100%.
No videos, take a photo. Okay? Now, what is everybody, let's see, everyone's
Right.
available tomorrow?
Can I
Yes,
ask a question?
yes.
He would take a video or a photo of what's wrong. But I think he also has the right to take a video or a photo of the entire space to demonstrate that as of that time, there was nothing wrong with that space. So that in case something happens between tomorrow, whenever he designated the time, to the time she vacates.
No,
Ma'am, please stop interrupting.
And that way, we will feel assured that in fact, we have a complete accurate picture of, we're looking for the walls, looking for plumbing, we're looking for flooring. That's it.
I hear you, counsel, and if there isn't an issue, then your client won't need to take a picture of it. So in my thought process, if there's an issue that has to be taken care of, he's going to take a photo of it. If a wall isn't damaged, then there won't be a photo of that wall because it's not damaged. And if it's subsequently damaged, then we know that something happened between the date that they're there inspecting it and the date that the hole is there.
I accept
Okay?
that. Thank you.
So I understand what you're saying, and so my thought was this way, right? Ms. Collins can be assured that there's not pictures or videos of all of her possessions, and we're only focusing on what areas are in repair, need of repair or otherwise. And if they're not taken a photo of, and then subsequently they're, in need of repair, then there's an issue.
So let's put on the record with Ms. Collins, that would state that he's only to take pictures of something wrong, and there's presumption that nothing is wrong if he doesn't take any pictures of it. Put that on the record.
Okay?
Thank
Would
you.
you agree with that, ma'am?
agree, but am I allowed to show him things that are wrong as well? And if he doesn't take a photo though, that doesn't mean it's not wrong. Because I don't wanna show him areas that I know that are wrong and then he just doesn't take a picture of it.
If there are areas that you know that there are in need of repair,
Yeah.
then Mr. Branson, I would presume, would be taking a photo of it.
He-
So if you're shown that area, sir, even if you disagree that it doesn't need repair, take a photo, and then when you come back, we'll
And
address it.
you take a picture.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, tomorrow,
Ugh.
12 o'clock, what are you both doing?
I am working.
What is your shift tomorrow?
I work 11:30 to 7. Both, I work that and then I work 11:30 until midnight on Sunday.
Where do you work?
At the VFW,
Which one is that?
the one right on 4th Street. I mean, on 4th Street in Wyandotte, right, a few blocks from here.
Okay,
I'm
were you there last weekend?
uh-huh.
Okay, I don't know, I'm just gonna say I was there last weekend for a surprise party,
On Saturday,
yes. but
yes, I left at 6 o'clock.
Okay, so I was there after that.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Same location.
My house set it up as really cool to have cupcakes, yeah.
But like you said, it's a very small city.
What's going on here?
Okay, so,
Your Honor,
yes,
my apologies. Also, tomorrow's difficult for me. I'm a supervisor for the Wayne County Road Commission, and we have snow coming in, and it's pertinent that I'm there to
We
support. Yes, we have up to an inch tomorrow.
He did a 30-hour shift.
I just got off a 30-hour shift for the ice storm.
okay, what is your schedule on Monday?
I know I have one doctor's appointment, I don't remember what time, but I will make time on Monday.
Would your appointment be after 3 o'clock?
I believe not.
Okay, and what time do you get off of work, Mr. Branson?
I can be free all day. I can take the day off. Monday, we don't have any weather, so whatever's easiest for her to make this easiest to make this move.
And may I have somebody with me?
I already said, you can have somebody with you, and Mr. Branson can have somebody with you, that's not his wife.
That's correct.
So then there's not a question as to whether or not, anyone's ganging up on anybody. So, Monday, February 10th, 5 PM. Does that work for both of you?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, I do not want to have everybody come back and say that it didn't happen because I didn't have anybody available. Find somebody. Find somebody. Whether it's somebody you work with, I don't know. Find somebody,
That will happen.
whatever it may be, okay? Now, I'm also going to state as well that I am expecting the most civilized behavior that there can be. So ma'am, that means no mumbling under the breath comments, nothing. You can say, here's an area, and that's it. Not, here's an area that you failed to fix when I asked you to, or here's an area that's been like this since before I even moved in, nothing. No commentary,
Oh yeah.
other than this wall, or this door.
I want
or
these
this
pictures.
Electrical switch, or this filter, that is it.
I really want a
Nothing
video of the
over
whole
and above
event.
that. You are not to be recording at all.
What about my cameras that are already in my house?
Why should
That's a
you be
different story.
recording?
They're already on, right?
He
So-
knows, he knows my cameras are there.
Again, ma'am, I just said,
I'm sorry.
you have a problem with not making comments. You're not to record on your phone, not to put your phone in his face, vice versa. Okay? And then I will have you both back on the 21st.
Your Honor,
I,
I have a question.
I'm clipping you
May
a
I
problem
take
with not
pictures
making
too when
comments.
He takes pictures of,
Sure. Sure,
You're gonna
go
see
right
it
ahead.
again.
just so I have the
Right,
same
let him
thing.
take the photo first, and then you take the photo.
Thank
So
you.
that then there's not an argument as to whose camera's in the way or whatever.
Thank you.
The 21st,
Judge, may I, about the 21st?
yes,
I haven't taken a vacation in 3 years. I'm really exhausted. I may leave town just for the weekend to go to Florida. Maybe could we do it on the 20th instead? Or even,
Well, that's our state day.
or even 19th if it's possible,
The what?
19th.
Well, that's our, so the 19th and 20th are both very full days typically. We could do the 18th.
19th is good with me, right?
I mean, how dare you take a
The
vacation
18th, I work all day, sorry.
all day?
Yes,
What time do you start?
I'm the only one that works.
Okay, I can't help it. I can't help it. He did it in the exact same voice. He did it in the exact same voice. I need a ruling. Have I lost my mind? Where are we here?
Do this today, Your Honor. My health is in jeopardy right now.
What's up?
I have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
and what's been going on is
Very stressful.
I'm bleeding inside, ma'am. Can we do this?
At 11:30,
Okay, so we can do 8:30 in the morning?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you kidding me? It gets better than
In the
this?
meantime, Council and Ms. Collins.
I came this
brief
close to taking the
issue
day
of
off.
No C of O and what the effect is on a lease and collecting rent by next Friday, the 14th. Also, ma'am, please make a list of everywhere that you're applying for housing and see what all that detail is as well, okay?
I have to get the list into you.
You're just gonna keep a
Oh,
list
yeah.
and then you'll bring it on that day,
On the 14th, on the 18th.
yes.
Your Honor, the legality to, I have to do a what?
A brief,
Just write why there has to. Could I write-
write what the, what law you're referencing when what law you're relying on.
Uh-huh.
And the facts of this case and the effects, how that law applies to the facts of this case.
Okay,
What
may I
effects
also
it
make
is.
one
Yes.
more point that I've been trying to make this entire case?
Can you what?
Make one more point I've been trying to make this entire case? That
You're going to want to stick with the Iraq method. Issue, rule, apply, conclude. Okay? Make sure to shepherdize those sites.
he tries to say he didn't know that he doesn't have a.
Blue book
CR.
only.
Ma'am, I'm not addressing that today. I'll address that on the 18th. Whether he knew or didn't know, quite frankly, is irrelevant. You're raising the issue that he is illegally collecting rent because he doesn't have a C of O at the property. So I'm having both you and Mr. Dagger brief the issue as to how that applies to this case and what the ramifications are if somebody's collecting rent without a C of O. So whether he knew or didn't know or claimed to know or didn't know, that right now, in my mind, is not relevant at this point. I want to see what you're both stating is the law and how that applies. And then you will go from there. Maybe on the 18th, I'll want to hear that. Maybe it may be relevant. I don't know. But for right now, I'm not hearing any more testimony, any more arguments. That is what the court ordered. And you're all to return on the 18th at 8:30 p.m.
Will I be able to bring my witnesses up at that time too?
Yeah, let me just say this, okay? Neither side has presented witnesses today because this court has not found that it was necessary to hear the testimony from the witnesses at this point. Because I've heard testimony from both you and Mr.
This is so rich. She's asking for a briefing on an issue of law. They don't need to take testimony for it. She's just calling him out on her bluff. Basically, she's saying you don't have a freaking case. If you bother to try this, you'll figure that out.
Branson as to what the issues are, okay?
There's more issues.
Just one moment. And so for those reasons, the court didn't find that it was necessary today to hear from those witnesses. Perhaps on the 18th, I may need to hear from those witnesses. I'm not sure. What is the other issue?
All right, Judge, could you quickly explain the difference between law and equity?
That he had me move in and he made me pay rent. For the
This is
first,
hell.
because he said he was redoing the entire kitchen, I could move it until the 16th, and he's never redone that kitchen.
Hold on. So is your issue that the kitchen hasn't been redone? Or is the issue that you paid for a full month of rent in June of 24 and you didn't get to move in for the full month?
Correct, and then I need
Which
that
one?
money back, then I need that money back that I
No,
paid.
which issue? The kid not having the kitchen not being redone, or you not moving in on the first? Which is the issue of that, what statement you just made?
No, that I had asked them in November, part of the reason why I didn't pay
Yeah,
November.
please listen to my question. You just raised an issue about June in the kitchen and the 16th. So which is the issue? Is the issue that the kitchen wasn't redone? Or is the issue that you paid for a full month and you didn't get to live there for a full
Yeah,
month?
Judge is trying to dumber this down for her, but it's not working.
that was the issue, that I paid for a full month, and I
Okay.
didn't get to live there for a full month.
Can I ask a question, Ryan?
Just for a moment.
Oh, shit.
Also, there's
I really
another
need a
issue I
vacation.
came on.
What is that?
That was his
That
last
I've been
question.
paying part of their utilities, and I have proof of that, and that is, I have showed text messages where he says, I've been paying all the outside lights and everything on my fuse boxes for their light systems.
So is there a dollar amount that you feel that you've overpaid for utilities?
He claims only $3 a month.
Stop, that wasn't my question.
I'm sorry.
Do you have an amount that you
Hundreds.
believe that you have overpaid for utilities?
$200 a month.
How, you're gonna have to bring proof as to what that amount is, how much you paid, and why you think you've overpaid that. You have to bring that back on the 18th.
Yes, I will, thank you.
Your Honor, may I ask a question?
To me?
No, actually, I think Ms. Collins just stated that she didn't move in until the middle of June. Is that what is being represented to the court?
She testified June 16th is when she moved in. Is that what you testified to, ma'am?
I
June
was-
16th?
I brought 2 boxes in before the 16th.
That wasn't my question.
Yes,
Did you testify that you were not allowed to move in until June 16th?
I wasn't allowed to bring any of my big stuff. He allowed me to bring 2
Yeah,
boxes in before the
Please,
16th.
you're not listening to my
That's what I'm
question.
saying, I was allowed to bring 2 boxes in.
No, listen. My question requires a yes or no answer. Was your testimony earlier that you were not allowed to move in until June 16th? Was that your testimony?
There's more to it, the
Yes
kitchen
or
was
no?
not available to live.
Ma'am, yes or no? Was that your testimony?
Yes,
Okay, there we go. So that answers your question. Right, counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to bring proof of that, ma'am, with you on the 18th as well. So you can certainly bring your witness back. And what is it that you're expecting that your witness would testify to, ma'am? As it relates to, the certificate of occupancy issue?
one of my witnesses that I have on the list is from the city hall.
Okay, who is that?
Well, I will actually call Kelly, who spoke to him, who says she actually didn't speak to him until the 29th.
Did you subpoena her because she's not here?
I will subpoena her, I didn't actually know her name till yesterday, 2 days ago.
Okay, and so the witness that you brought here that you asked if your witness would be able to testify
He
at the
has
next hearing,
been, oh, I'm sorry.
at the next hearing, is he going to be testifying as to the C of O issue? Yes or no?
To the CFO issue,
The certificate of occupancy, is he going to be testifying as to that issue?
2 other issues, but no, not that one. There are other issues.
Ma'am, just a moment. Is he going to be testifying to the issue regarding you not being allowed to move in until June 16th?
No,
Is he going to be testifying to the issue that you've overpaid utilities?
yes,
Okay, then you said that there's other issues. What are the other issues that you're alleging?
the other issues is about Mr. Branson coming in whenever he wants.
Okay, I'm not sure how that's relevant to these proceedings right this moment.
Mr. Branson comes in at all hours of the night. Mr. Branson comes in and takes stuff out of my house whenever he wants. Just if they're missing stuff.
Okay, and that's what this witness is going to be testifying to?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes,
Prior to the beginning of the hearing, you asked both witnesses to leave, and you further instructed both of us not to speak to any of those witnesses. Two things happened.
well, I'm sorry, just for a moment, before we get into that. Any other issues that you're alleging, ma'am?
I have 3 police reports going on right now against him because he's been stealing my mail. And I put that in my report as well.
Okay, so,
And my mail's been on hold with the postal service, and I have a case against him
okay, ma'am,
about that.
okay, any other issues?
The sexual harassment case that's been going on as well.
Okay, I don't know anything about that.
Oh, here we go.
On
Of
the
course.
mail and the harassment issues, that those are criminal, if that's criminal investigations right now, then that will be left for that. Okay, the criminal investigation portion.
I would like to ask the court to have him stay out of my property except on the date that you have set for the rest of the time being. Unless he's coming for repairs that I know of. That you've asked Mr. Branson to stay out of my property.
Well, actually, what I'm going to say is this. Mr. Branson is going to enter your property on the 10th at 5 p.m. And that's it.
Thank you.
If there is a water issue or an electrical issue or something of that nature, he's just gonna call somebody. And then you are going to have to make arrangements for your schedule on the contractor's schedule to allow the person in there.
Thank you.
That's it. That's how we're gonna do it. That'll keep it even, Steven, and protect both parties.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, so that's the finality of the issues that we have to address, correct? Okay, is that correct?
Thank you.
Is that correct, yes or no? I need verbal, ma'am, for the
Thank you,
recording,
Your Honor.
the legal recording that the court is
Thank you,
doing.
Your Honor, yes.
Okay.
Oh
now,
my God.
counsel.
Your Honor, as we left the court,
She's crying.
she immediately proceeded to the witness to inform of what was happening in the court in violation of the strict order of the court.
Okay, just before we get to the next issue, ma'am. Did you go out and start talking to the witness about what happened in court?
I would
Yes,
think-
yes or no?
Yes. So I won't use them.
Correct. He's
Plain and
not,
simple.
he's not,
Won't use them.
nope, what's his name?
Brian Loves.
What?
Brian Loves.
How do you,
Loucks. Yes.
Sorry, LOU.
CKES.
I'm just going to indicate he's an eligible witness.
But Your Honor, may I still call William Branson and Kate Branson?
If the court determines that that's going to be necessary testimony,
With the electric, it will be, because Kate also sent me about the
ma'am,
move-in date.
ma'am. If the court determines that it's going to be necessary testimony, then yes. However, you seem to have a hard time understanding that what the court states is something that has to be followed. I was very clear and said, do not discuss anything with anybody in the lobby. I was very clear on that.
I thought we were done.
No, ma'am, that doesn't matter. This is still ongoing. I said, do not discuss this with anybody in the lobby. So,
I have 2 brain tumors, Your
Ma'am,
Honor, excuse me.
ma'am, nope, stop, please. You've stated that many times that you have stage 4 cancer, okay? Now, then you just stated that you thought we were done. And now you're stating that you have 2 brain tumors, so that's why you spoke to him. Please, stop that, okay?
Your Honor, this actually asked for a jury trial and you never gave me that right to have one.
When did you request a jury trial, ma'am?
You never gave me a chance to request one. You automatically just put this in front of yourself.
Ma'am, you have to request that at the time of filing. All right, Mr. Dagger, what's the
That's
next
waived.
issue?
I will be filing for the jury trial.
He never gave me a chance.
As she left, she immediately turned on, after speaking to the witness, she immediately turned on her phone.
My
and
phones were in here the entire time. Both phones were in here.
Please
Well, absolutely.
stop interrupting.
My phones were left in here.
I said stop interrupting. That means stop all the comments.
Well, if it's in fact true that our phones were here, then obviously she didn't turn them on outside, so I accept that as a fact that she's represented to the court that we're here. I honestly saw her using the phone, and I think the officer also saw her using the phone out there, and I thought that was her phone. If she's represented to the court, that's not her phone, then by all means, I accept that.
Were you using a phone out there, ma'am?
She called my work to tell them that I wouldn't be in because I was still in court.
Okay, and so what phone did you use?
Brian's, because both my phones are in here.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So, Mr. Branson, you're not to talk about anything that occurred in court with your wife
Yes, ma'am.
at all.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Collins, the court, as indicated, does hold you in contempt of court for your illegal recording of these proceedings earlier. And so the court's going to order a $250 sanction.
And I can appeal that, correct?
I'm sorry?
I can appeal that, correct?
You can appeal this court's ruling of holding you in contempt of court
Okay, for the record,
for recording these proceedings.
I'm going to
Absolutely. You can certainly file that appeal. I
I'm
believe
gonna
it's
appeal.
14 days.
Okay, I will appeal it.
Your Honor, just for the record, that is not going to be creating a stay on this case. This
No.
case moves forward, right?
Correct,
Correct.
correct. Nope, that's on the ruling, that's on this court's ruling of holding Ms. Collins in contempt for violation of MCR 8.1153A.
Your Honor, when do you expect her to pay?
I'm sorry?
When you designate a time when she'll be required to pay the amount?
Well, first of all, she's indicated she's going to be appealing that. So if she does in fact appeal, then it will be after that. And so otherwise, the court would give her 30 days to do that,
Thank you.
to make that payment.
And would I get something in the mail about this?
Get something in the mail about what?
This,
The finding of contempt?
yes, would I get something about this so I could appeal it, some piece of legal paper about this contempt?
You would like a written order? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that way I could show something that I have to appeal against.
Sure, no problem. I can
Thank
make
you.
sure that there's a written order. You will receive that via email on Monday. As my staff,
And could the days,
as my staff is all left for the day, except for my two court
and could
officers
the,
here.
and could the days
And again,
start?
can you please not interrupt while I'm talking?
Oh my God, she is absolutely insufferable. She doesn't know what a brief is, but she's got 2 appeals pending now.
Do you have an email address, ma'am?
rnhcollins@gmail.com.
Okay,
And could I have the 30 days start at that time on Monday, since they cannot write it up until Monday?
sure.
Your Honor, may I please ask the court that the next time I come in front of you, that I get a chance to defend myself, since I do not have a lawyer.
Ma'am, I will say that I'm a bit confused as to what you mean defend yourself, because this court is giving you ample opportunity to bring forth the issues that you're alleging. And in fact, this court has
Has a lot of application.
given you time to look through your phone to find messages that you stated were said or sent from Mr. Branson. The court has also given you ample opportunity to state what some of your concerns were. The court has reviewed the documents that you brought forth. The court has reviewed text messages that you have provided as well.
Absolutely.
And I don't know what defend yourself means when you say that, because I have you all coming back on the 18th to address the issues that have been raised by you. So I don't know what you mean when you're saying the opportunity to defend yourself.
Your Honor, because every single motion I did do it in a timely manner, because the motion to dismiss, I brought 2 days after I found out that he was his lawyer. So I had every single timely manner. I did my motion to suppress all the evidence the day after I got their evidence, which they did not give me in a timely manner because they tried to scam me by saying I had to e-file, which if you would have read everything showed every single email, they tried to act as if I was an attorney and said that. If you would have read my motion.
Ma'am, I did read your motion.
Yeah, all their evidence should
And
have
it
been thrown
sucked.
out because they kept saying, oh, I need to see e-file, I
Ma'am,
need
that
to
is
see e-file.
that's not how it works, okay? There are court rules that require certain procedures to be followed,
I followed everyone to the letter of the law.
okay? Did you file a notice of hearing? You did not file a notice of hearing, and there's.
As I said, he has you in his pocket.
Excuse me. Ma'am, as I stated, I'm not in anybody's pocket. And you stated that Mr. Branson stated that I was in his pocket, and you just stated that you said it. So let me just say this, okay? Stop, please, with your continued statements while I'm talking. You have had ample opportunity to address your issues with the court. In fact, you've continued to interrupt the court to raise your issues. Can you please stop with the papers because it interferes with the recording because the microphones are ultra sensitive. So, as I stated, I don't know what you mean when you say ample opportunity to defend yourself because the court has taken a lot of time to narrow down the issues as to what the issues are here, okay? So, we have those issues narrowed down and specified for the record. We have the date that you are both to submit your briefs. We have the date that you're going to both be there with individuals at the property to take photos of anything that needs repair or doesn't need repair. And then we're all going to be returning here on February 18th at 8:30 a.m.
Your Honor, there's one more thing. With regret, I'm just putting on the record what I heard her say outside about this court. May I do that?
Well,
It's not very flattering.
that's fine. I'm used to not being flattered.
She said that
Oh, this
she's
should
seen
be
your
fun.
picture as part of a swingers club.
I
Well,
never
we
said
can't
that.
I swear to God under oath, that's what she said.
I never once said that, Your Honor. Under oath,
I bet she
swear
did.
under
I
oath,
bet
I
she
never
did.
said that.
Step up, officer, he heard it.
First of all, counsel, you do not direct my officer to
I'm
stand
sorry,
up.
Your Honor. I'm really angry now because we know where this is.
I said, Your Honor, and I will repeat what I said. I said, I have text messages. He is in a swingers club, and that might be how
Oh!
you might know him, and that's how, listen, this might be laughable, but I will admit what I
Dang.
said. I had no
Shots
shame
fired.
in what I said because I was upset because I feel like I'm losing the case. So I'll admit what I said. I have no shame in it because I'm losing my life here right now. Because I know he's doing something illegal, all right? But just let me say what I said. If I'm gonna be accused of saying something, let me at least say how I said it, right? That I have text messages where he admits he's part of a swingers club. He's part of the Jeep Swingers Club, part of Wyandotte, right? And I
Oh,
said, maybe
no.
that's how he knows the judge. And maybe that's why he has her in the back pocket. I asked and said, maybe that's how. If they heard it as a different thing,
nice
because they were
admission.
all the way on the other side of the hall, then they heard it as a different thing and twisted the words. I never said you were part of. I said, maybe that's how. I never claimed you were. So I will say that's how. Never claimed you were. So that's how I said it. So don't say I said you were.
I never claimed you were. I strongly implied you were. Oh my God, this is the juiciest hearing of all time. I seriously was not going to stream today. This is fantastic.
I don't know what to say, Judge.
Well, I mean.
I'll admit what I said. People are allowed.
It's laughable.
I will laugh about it, but I'm
Because-
allowed to have my own feelings.
You can have your own feelings, but just as though you don't want inappropriate things being said about you, don't say those about other people. Lucky I have a thick skin, quite frankly, and I've already established
Is he a furry? I want to know if he's a furry.
that I do not know Mr. Branson. Maybe I've seen him at some point during my campaigning 7 years ago, whatever it was. I don't know, but I've already said that. I've already said all of that. And so if you don't have to believe me, ma'am. You stated that in fact, you did state, I think earlier, that you were fine with everything moving forward and that you believed what I said. In any event, ma'am.
I can't believe you when you're allowing someone against the law to do things.
Ma'am, I am not allowing anybody against the law to do anything, okay? There has not been a citation given to Mr. Branson, to my knowledge anyway, that would have him in front of this court. And I just said, when the two of you are to be sending your briefs to the court, both you and Mr. Dagger, so that you can brief the issue and we can address the issue of not having a C of O. So before you start accusing this court of doing something improper, please take a few moments to process it, because I haven't allowed anybody to do anything illegally here today. And in fact, I'm having you and Mr. Dagger brief the issue of no C of O. So that's 100% opposite of what you've just stated. I'll see you all on the 18th.
Thank you.
Court's in recess.
And I apologize.
What were you gonna lie?
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I almost did not stream today. I could not find anything. I looked. I couldn't find anything. I saw just the beginning of that. All I knew was that it started off with the judge giving her the business about flipping people off. But this is fantastic. She goes full Karen. Yeah, making the sexual assault allegations to her advantage in a I guess it's a landlord tenant dispute. I don't even know what the dispute is. I guess it's the landlord tenant dispute. That's hilarious, but it's over the top. We've got medical conditions. She won't shut up. She will not shut up. But of course, the coup de grace is when not only does she certainly imply that the judge is a swinger. Of course, the judge didn't do herself any favors saying, I was at the VFW that night. I'm not saying that she is. I'm not. But she was trying to be nice and relatable earlier. Now she's feeling bad about it. But then, so the attorney says, hey, she's running her mouth out there saying you're a swinger. And in her defense, she steps up and says, no, I said, you were a swinger. And that's probably why, you got her in your pocket. Oh, well, that makes it better. And then she ends that with, see, I never said you were a swinger. No, you strongly implied that you're corrupt and a swinger, along with opposing counsel. Oh my God. I couldn't have scripted that better. That was an absolute nightmare. Oh, some days it all works out. Many days it doesn't. Some days it does. I got to do it. Just, just give me a moment. I wasn't ready. I didn't think we were going here with this. I admit I was unprepared, but here we go.
I'm going to use Miss Fowler's word. She now is in a throuple. And not only does she choose to be in a throuple, and she's shacked up in the bed with the throuple. Now, if anybody thinks this is okay, I am in the wrong world.
There you have it. That was wild. She is, and then of course accusing her, saying accusing the judge being corrupt because she wasn't being treated fairly. The only people not being treated fairly were her opposition, because clearly she's not doing anything right. And the judge is doing what is common, but not holding her to the standard of an attorney, despite the fact that she chose to represent herself. And they all do it, so I'm not jumping on DeSanto, but DeSanto is bending over backwards for this mope. And then she makes these allegations. I don't think we never did get to the sanction. I don't know if it's set over. She held her in contempt. I mean, literally, if I was on the bench and someone came and said those things about me, and it's not because of my personal, it's for the court. But if you're saying these things, an opposing counsel, another attorney that's practicing before me, you come in here without any evidence and just start throwing this stuff around, you're going to the lockup. I don't care if it's a civil matter. That is hardcore contempt. You spend the night in the gray bar, at least a night. Probably more like 5 days. I would not tolerate that. I wouldn't do it. But it was hilarious. It was cute. That's why. So I hadn't seen it. So at the end, I'm going to the bitter end on here because I always cut off too soon. And I was waiting, and it was kind of worth it. It was kind of worth it because DeSanto's sitting there quiet. She's just waiting for her to leave. They're waiting for her to get out. And then finally there's that big smile on her face, which she's been suppressing. Poor judge. I think she's a good judge. I'm not knocking her. But sometimes she can be really tough, but she's a little too nice sometimes. There's a prime example. She felt the need to justify herself to this woman. All the things the judge was saying was right. The problem is I disagree with the premise that she's entitled to that. You're coming around throwing wild allegations around. You're going to get stung in my courtroom. I'm not explaining to you how this works. I'll tell you what, you didn't file a notice of motion. The pleadings are stricken. We're not reviewing it at all. Next. Because that's what they would do to an attorney. I would probably give some pro se's a break to some extent, but not if they pulled that attitude with me. No. Then do it right. Oh, good times. That was absolutely hilarious. That was so much better than I thought it was. I'm like, okay. I couldn't find anything. I saw literally 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, this has potential. And then it was like a slow drip too. But it just kept getting just slightly worse. And then just right down until we got to the furry convention at the end. Her defense is bad. I didn't call you a swinger, judge. I called him a swinger. And then I just, openly speculated that maybe that's why he's getting all the rulings, because you're corrupt and also a swinger. But I didn't say you were one. That's the dumbest crap I've ever heard. What do we call this thing? I need a title for this. Greatest Karen meltdown of all time? That's not original, but it fits. Thank you, Kate. Oh yeah, you do. Oh yeah, you do. It starts out with, I mean, we're 30 seconds in, and she's like, "All right, why are you flipping people off in the hall?" That's the opener. That's the opener from DeSanto. Oh. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. She is, I mean, there's a lot of year left, but right now she is hands down Karen of the Year. No doubt about it. And we've had some good ones. We've had some. The fake waterworks in the middle for no apparent reason. She did it all. She checked all the boxes, all of them. Oh, I'm glad we had this time together too. I'm singing the Carol Burnett theme song at this point. Most of you have no idea what I'm saying. But when you're 700 years old, you know these things. All right. Now that I'm here, I don't want to miss any super chats. All right. I'm just trying to scroll to the bottom here. Oh, I was not prepared for this. No cocktails, nothing on happy hour. I had the greatest happy hour clip of all time. And here I sit, sober as a deacon. Jeep Furry Swingers Club. That's a good title, but it's a little too inside. That Jeep Furry Swingers Club. Maybe that's a thumbnail. Is that a good thumbnail? Oh. All right. I gotta seriously do something here. I gotta make a thumbnail and a title for this now. I was just like, all right, I'll do something. I miss my people. I don't have anything, but this should be amusing for at least 30 seconds. And then it was just, I don't know, where are we at here? It was 45 minutes of pure gold. Pure gold. Oh, yes, they do. It's a very antiquated phrase. I mean, it's hip and new to me. Silver as a deacon. The first time I heard that was probably, in the 20s. All right. There we go. Let me figure this out. Thanks for coming out. As usual, behave yourselves. If you're going out, get an Uber. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'm not bailing you out.